It's finally happened. The ice has melted and released its hold on items in the garden. Things are starting to grow on our porch, and I'm heading outside to look for a few signs of spring. Within eyesight, there is still some snow showing, but the height of the sun, the warmer days, it's all starting to melt and recede away from the gardens, which is allowing all of these little beauties to show their heads and to awaken. Welcome back, kindred spirits, and if this is your first visit, welcome to you too, and welcome to Sugarwood, our 1790 home in New England. And once again, if this is your first visit, this channel is all about inspiring others to find their own version of fine living, no matter how simple or grand that may be. And I hope to inspire you with things that I'm sharing and that I do and that I learn. Now that the snow piles have gone, which if you saw the videos a couple weeks ago, the snow was halfway up this door. I'm finally able to cut back some of the hydrangeas because we might be doing some work out back here, but I'm going to show you what we're going to be doing out front later. But I wanted to make sure I got this all cleaned up before some of the real hard work begins. Speaking of hard work, I needed to clean up this broken lilac tree. I was going to wait for Ben to do this with me with the other chainsaw, the one with gas, but I decided to do the 2 electric ones because I got this. I know I can do this. So this is what I'm dealing with now. I have a root system. Most of it broke away, which is why everything fell, but we have some roots there that are still grabbing. So I'm going to get a handsaw, take care of that. Same thing with this one stem here. And there's some new shoots. I'm going to try to save those and keep them pushed in. But there's a lot of broken limbs here that I'll get to clean out. And I'm taking advantage of this time to give this lilac area fresh cleaning. I might even take out this one that was absolutely a shoot. It's going into the yard. And clean this up and maybe put a little bench over here so that I can sit in the shade during the summer. And just keep working on it. But this was an oldie. The size of this trunk is amazing. Some of them, like I said, they could see they already had a lot of issues with all these cuts. And we'll just keep doing a little bit more and save it for the next 100 years. Well, it's kind of a good thing I didn't have the camera going, and kind of too bad because you probably would have got a laugh out of it. I was able to pull it and just twist it a little. Came out no problem. I'm winded, fought with it, and when I pulled it out, one of the limbs caught me in the pocket. It started to fall back. I started to fall back, and we both fell back. So, soft landing, a little mud. But the main reason I lost footing, it was I was trying so careful not to hit any of the daffodils. So I took the brunt of it. That one is still in there pretty good. But this area is going to get a lot of nice sunshine, and I'll be able to do a little more gardening in this area now. Ooh, stinker. Look at that root ball. Wow. Check out the color of that sky, called a bluebird sky. Gorgeous. This is certainly a job for my strong husband. We'll put it over on the burning pile, but that one almost won the battle, but I was determined. I'm not going to do it today, but I'm going to get a ladder out and clean up some of these higher branches that broke and go from there. Miss Willow is just assessing the situation, just making sure I'm safe from robins and chickadees and any other ferocious birds that might fly my way. Whew. I like seeing that done. Oh, maybe we got it. We might have it. Gonna have to do a little bit more finagling. Once again, stepping over all of these daffodils is what's making it hard. I'm trying not to damage any plants. Ooh, that's a toughie. All right, I'm gonna try this with 2 hands. You're gonna have to take my word for it. I was able to twist it and pull it just enough to get that out. All right, so I did this knowing I have to go inside soon for an appointment and get ready for something, but I'm trying to accomplish something each day, and this was it. Now I have to go remember to get my camera stand over there, or I'll wonder where it is. Remember a few seconds ago I mentioned about finding my stand or getting it so I don't forget it? Here is my other stand I couldn't find this morning because I left it outside yesterday from working on the hydrangeas. Willow needs to keep me on my toes. She's like, there it is. I don't know. Gotta keep a track of all these things. It's time to indulge my inner child, and today I'm doing it with a hot cup of Butterfly Pea Flower Tea, and the magic of this, it goes from blue to purple when I add just a touch of lemon. And the same happens when I do my violet simple syrup. It goes from blue to purple. Now the taste of this reminded me of the violet tea, and this is very mild. It's nice and light, and when I add the lemon, I really enjoyed it. Now, you might remember that I first introduced you to the butterfly pea flower when I was sharing some gin that I have here at my home that is purple, and they dye it with the butterfly pea flower. You may notice that the teapot is on top of a stand here that you can actually put a candle in there to keep your tea or your coffee warm. Now this particular pot, it says that you can even put it on your stove top. I'm not going to chance it. I'm going to use it just like this and not put it on my stove. I mentioned I was doing this for my inner child, but how fun would this be if you were having it with your child, your grandchild, or just a bunch of friends who came over? And here's the little bit of the magic when I add just a touch of lemon, which I said I do like the flavor better with the lemon. The other one's a little herbier. It turns purple. It's just fun. And another thing that's fun, I can use this for so many other things. I can make lemonade, I can make smoothies, I can use it in baking recipes such as cupcakes. It's just a fun, natural product that is caffeine free. I realized I didn't show a kind of a before I start painting this door. And this is a color that I actually had in the basement from, I don't know how many years ago. I found this color at a house that we stayed in. I'm adding these photos of the vacation house we went to, and This is almost proving to me that the can I found in their closet is not the same paint, because even in Groton House, I felt it was lighter than this particular home's paint color. And it looked it while I was painting it, but it dried a lot lighter. So I do believe that the Oyster Bay paint that I found was not the one that was used in the vacation house, which is not going to be the one that I end up using myself, as you will see. I was going to lay right in front of the door. This is called Oyster Bay, maybe? I'll have to look at it. It's going to take a couple coats over this dark, but it certainly is in line with all of the colors that I'm using here at Sugarwood. I'll bring you inside. Let's go take a look at the can. Excuse me, Willow. Let's see. I've been doing all kinds of little projects here around the house, things that I've been wanting to get done, but this is called Oyster Bay, I believe. I can't look at the cover yet because it's holding the stick, but I will confirm that for you. But I'm going to get this painted and let that dry and then do a second coat. So it's hard to see the color here, but this is a satin, and I'm going to probably do it in a semi-gloss, but I'm not sure if it's a little too light for me, only because I know it'll be touched a lot with dirt and whatnot. And I do have, this is the color that we used in Groton House. That was actually the house color, but I also used it in the kitchen. And I'm so tempted to actually now do this door again with that color. I just think the deep richness of it will be a little bit more what I'm looking for. Let me shut this door here and just show you. I would have to still scrape and everything, but you know, the color's pretty. I did buy this for Groton and it didn't work there either. There's just something about it. I loved it in the other house that we were at for vacation. It's a beautiful color. It might be that it's not a semi-gloss. It's, once again, this satin looks very flat to me. I'm not sure. But I do think this color might be a little better. It has a little bit of yellow tone to it, which might be best on this northern facing wall, just to warm up this space a bit. I'm going to sleep on it though. I'm not going to do this tonight. I'm not going to do this tonight. I have to keep telling myself that, because I painted the trim, I did the door, I painted inside the butler's pantry, I've been working in the yard. I think it's time for me to be done, and I don't even know what time it is. I have no idea. So I'm going to go inside, check the time, make lunch or dinner. I don't know which. So case in point, I picked up these two planters at Ocean State Job Lot. They are super lightweight, but they do look like pottery. And this is the deeper, darker tone color that I'll be doing on the door. And it is so similar to the Village Green paint that I have in the library that I can already tell this is the color I'm gonna go with. I thought I would actually bring it into the library to show you. Look how close the color is. In the lighting, it's a little bit different, but let me see if I'm gonna put it over here and I'll take a step back and we'll take a look at it. Oops. So very close. So I might try this Village Green first on the door. I have it, why not try it? I picked up this book last year because it reminded me a little bit about the books that I was creating, or my journals, I should say. These are a lot prettier, but like I said, it reminded me of mine. Let me show you what I've been doing for the past few years now. Looking back, I realized I stepped away from adding color because it was a lot easier, but maybe I'll pick up the watercolor pencils and paints again. This is my vintage parasol I picked up. You might remember my using it in several videos, and I do use it. This is just one of the many my simple fine living moments. Just grabbing a parasol, going out in the garden, and enjoying some me time. I thought I would share something that I'm doing here in the kitchen. Now, mind you, this is temporary. What I did was I brought in this sideboard or sofa table, and I put it here in the kitchen just to get an idea of the size and scale of the baker's table that I'm hoping to find. And I'm also seeing if we even like having something here. Is it going to be too much to keep going around? Is it going to get in the way of things? So I figured, what better time to have it here in the kitchen as while I'm prepping for Easter. And then we'll see if Ben has trouble getting to the sink, around to the sink, in and out of the dishwasher. And just kind of, like I said, to get an idea. And it's temporary, but I'm liking that I have another work surface here, and I do have plenty, but I do miss having another little island here, and this a little bit higher and maybe a little shorter would be fine. And my thoughts were also, if it was on wheels, I could then scoot it over here under where this mirror is right now. At one point, when I first designed the kitchen, the plan was to have a little rolling table down the end under that window, and that was before I was going to have shelves on the other side. And I would just wheel it out here, if I could have on that the mixer, or just once again another work surface as needed. I do like how having another piece of furniture here zhuzhes up the room a little bit, but I am hoping for a little bigger. It would definitely be lighter. But what do you think? Think I should get something for this space? All right, I promised I was going to share what we're going to be doing here out front. And this morning I was even mentioning to Ben, I'm so concerned about my little flowers are going to get damaged when the new windows come in, which should be very soon. Now that this, look at this, I just noticed the snow is all gone here. That's amazing. Still have some out back. But we are finally working on getting this walkway replaced. This was put in, I don't know, a few years ago, and it's just wasn't done properly. So we're going to have somebody come in, and we're going to have the bricks run. I'm going to have banding going off to the side. They're going to move it a little bit when we get up further to this area. I think we're going to pretty much follow this line. We're going to make it a smidge wider. And then right here where it takes this curve, I think we're going to be pulling it in just a bit. Oops, there goes my camera again. We're going to pull it in. And over at this section in the front, what we might be doing is this stone will be coming out, and we're either going to do 1 or 2 long granite slabs so that it almost has like the look of a step up versus a ramp. You know, we were talking about a ramp, and I'm like, yeah, I can see myself now in my 90s coming out and sliding down that ramp. we're going to do something there that makes the transition really nice. Oh, I got more plants coming in here. And then these beds will be fixed up. Then the discussion is kind of making more gardens in this area so that this boxwood, which we have decided to keep right now, we're going to add more plants kind of to balance the weight. I decided to pop this picture in, and this is why I want the metal detector out. Right here is the exact spot that I'm pointing at right now, where they were out front. Maybe somebody dropped a piece of jewelry on their way to town. This rose bush will most likely get moved. They're going to be setting up a place for us to put plants that we take out and put them temporarily. So this excites us. Ben and I, or me, I don't know if it will be one or two people, we're going to slowly pull this up and put the bricks somewhere, because out back in the little courtyard, I'm hoping to build like a herb garden and bring a lot of the edibles inside closer to the kitchen. And I can use some of these. These bricks were found in the woods, I guess, is what I was told. But we do know that they came from the repairs. They took out a chimney and a fireplace in one of the rooms. We still have snow here. This is where all the snow blower snow went. But it's beautiful out. I'll be trimming this hydrangea soon. And I'm going to clean this bed up, and I'm going to probably put some cages over these flowers once again. They're most likely going to get trampled. This side of the house has never had a chance to grow without some sort of contractor trampling in this area since we moved here. This also is going to be done over. Don't know if it will be in this phase, but we're going to be taking out this section, putting 2 granite steps, possibly 3. We're waiting to see what we find under here. And then in the back, which I think will be phase 2, and then this step 3, we're going to be doing this section over here. I don't know if we're going to be doing square stones. I don't know if this might be something Ben and I tackle on our own, which would need to be pea stone, because we don't have the knowledge to lay these properly on this actually slopes towards the house, and we don't want to make an issue here. So that is still up for discussion. Well, kindred spirits, that's it for this week. I'm going to step away from the computer for a while, step away from the cell phone, and I'm going to start prepping for Easter. I hope to have a photo of our table that I set up for you, but if I don't, I know you'll forgive me, because I do love to put family time first, and that's what I'll be doing this weekend. I hope you have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week. Bye now.